What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Dimi V Gaming. I am Dimi V, and you are watching my review for Shadow of the Colossus, the remake on the PlayStation 4. So, despite of actually owning the original on the PlayStation 2, and even have the classics HD, Ico, and Shadow of the Colossus on the PlayStation 3, I never really got around to playing this game. I know, it's a shame, I should have. But I gave it a chance now, so was it worth finally getting around to it, or should I just have let it collect dust on the shelf? Let's have a look. So the story is basically about the protagonist called Wander that wants to revive or resurrect his girlfriend Mono that passed away. He heard tales of a so-called Dormin that supposedly has the ability to bring back the dead to the world of the living, so he wants to do everything in his power to make these stories reality. He learns that in order to do this he will have to slay all the Colossi. And for this he stole a magic sword from his village, because the only way to kill a Colossus is finding its weak spots with the help of his sword and strike them right there. The Colossi themselves are gigantic beings that live in an area cut off from the rest of the world. So Wander leaves for this area accompanied by his horse Agro, the lifeless body of his girlfriend, the magic sword, and his bow. When he arrives in the shrine of worship, a mysterious voice from the sky tells him that he'll have to slay all 16 Colossi if he wants to bring back his girlfriend. So that's basically your objective in the game: set out on an expedition to find the Colossi and then find a way to somehow get these massive creatures down. So the gameplay itself is actually pretty straightforward. You get to run around this massive map, be it on foot or by horse. That horse though really has a mind of its own sometimes, and I have found myself jumping off of it many times because the damn thing just wouldn't listen to what I was asking it to do. It would suddenly move to the left or the right while I was asking it to go forward, stop running even when I was tapping the run button. Heck, I even found her glitching a couple of times. She really is a test of your patience, but you grow to love her over time, you'll see. You have some basic platforming going on to get to certain parts of the world in order to reach a certain Colossi. This is pretty basic, so don't go expecting any hard stuff, especially if you're used to playing platforming games. No, I am not speaking for myself. At the start I couldn't even jump on a simple ledge, so count me out of that club. When you do reach your Colossi, you have to use your wits and savvy to find a way to climb up to that Colossi in order to go find its weak spots. They only have a couple of them, so they shouldn't be too hard to find. The biggest problem sometimes, however, is finding a way to keep on holding on to the damn thing, because once you have hit it with your sword, it is not amused and it starts shaking around like a Polaroid picture. If you are not pressing your hold button at that time, you are a goner for sure. I have had this on many occasions and I can tell you I was not amused as well. So that is basically the gameplay, nothing too hard or difficult, but effective and accessible for everyone. One thing that got on my nerves the most though was the camera. When you would make a certain move at some time, the camera would start flipping out and you'd have no idea where the hell you are and lose some valuable time. It is really annoying, and at least they should have been addressing that, or at least have a look into it. There really isn't that much music in this game, honestly. Most of the times when you are running or riding around in the vast lonely map, there's not a sound to be heard but your horse running or you yelling at it to go faster. For the rest, it's pretty silent actually. Sometimes you get to see a bird somewhere or hear a waterfall, but that's just it. But that is probably for some reason, maybe to capture the feeling that he really is alone in all of this. You do get music though, it's not like it's a mute game or anything. You get some epic sounding music once you are going head to head with the Colossus. This is generally some up-tempo, classical music kind of style that does capture the feel of this game. Oh, and the end sequence has some really great music as well, but no spoilers. Not much to say on this part other than they did a really good job remaking this one for the PlayStation 4, especially when you compare it to the original on the PlayStation 2. Everything looks pretty crisp if you ask me, from the forests to the mountains, waterfalls, canyons, buildings, caves. It all looks stunning. The best improvement so far though, in my honest opinion, is the Colossi themselves. They really have a lot more detail going on them, and they look really impressive. Once you finish the story, it is far from over if you so desire. There are 2 difficulty modes to finish the game in, tons of trophies to work on, and you can even get to each individual Colossus through the pillars in the shrine and perform timed attacks and try to beat your own records. So in conclusion, it was my first time playing this game and I definitely have not regretted it. Although sometimes frustrating, once you know what to do, the battles with the Colossi are really cool and well made, not too easy but not too hard as well, so definitely accessible to anyone. This game doesn't take too long to finish as well, so you won't have to spend hours and hours to get a little bit of progression. The story is really good, definitely towards the end, and it left me wondering and thinking, so if a story has that effect on you, you have definitely done a good job. So as for my V-score, I am giving this game a 8 out of 10. I would definitely recommend it if you have not played it before. Is it worth its money? Well, that kinda depends on you. I was willing to spend the money that I did on it, but if you're not too sure, maybe I would wait it out till you get a price drop or something, if that makes you feel any better. Or heck, if you know somebody that has the game, go and borrow it, try it out. I'm sure you'll love it. So that was my review for Shadow of the Colossus, but on the PlayStation 4. If you liked it, please be sure to leave a like and or subscribe, and I'll see you guys on my next review, video, whatever. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and cheers!